All right. Hello, hello. It's Friday, which means we're starting our natural tool flint napping. We're going to be napping with natural tools for the next 3 days, or let's say 3 nights. Every night for 3 nights in a row, we're going to be napping with natural tools. No introductory music, no fancy lights, and not much chatting. Yeah, we're going to be breaking into a couple of rocks that I got. And this is mainly so I can brush up on my natural tool napping skills. Okay, I will be checking the chat. Mr. Jim is first. Hello, hello. Dockenstein's here. Jim Main is here. All right. So I'm going to get my tools out that I'll be using. Well, most of them. I did not grind these down ahead of time. Hopefully it won't interfere with the napping. Let's see. Clint Evans, hello. Flakesguard is here. Howdy. Yeah, I will be checking the chat, but I won't be doing the Inception thing. I'm going to be slowly changing this format to be more quote-unquote natural. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, let's see what we got going here. Yeah, we get lots of billets. We got a lot of billets and some punches and hammerstones and stuff. Different pressure flakers. I don't need that one. What else do I need? Oh, that one, yeah. Some pads. Dark pad and light pad. Yeah, various hammerstones. Until I can get my sweet ones set up, I've got a lot of different hammerstones and braiding stones until I can find what I like, until they break, and then I have to switch over to something else. But for now, we are going to nap with these natural tools. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what do we got? I'll show you in a minute. Let's see what else we got. Who else we have? My Flintknapping adventure or journey is here. I gotta put my glasses on. Flintknapping journey is here. Aaron is here. Yep. Jeremy is here. Dakota Horn. Hey, Dave. Yep, here I am. Clint Evans. Hello, hello. Graylin Landry. Yep. Okay, so you guys are right on time, but I don't play intro music anymore with these natural tool videos. Yeah, I'll be slowly changing this format, and I'm going to try to get a nice primitive background going eventually. So I took out all the fancy lights and fancy intro music. I'm not sure if I should use this. This is one of the tools I'm working on. I got to replace it with some sort of natural binding instead of rubber bands. This is a little hammer with a piece of antler. I can chip stone with it. Yeah. All right, let's see. And see, it conserves on the antler because I can just put a little piece in here. Yeah. It's carved out to accept the little antler piece. I'm going to try this and see if it holds up, because it's a little bit flexible. I don't know if you can see that flex, because it's a rubber band holding it. Big, long rubber band, or maybe 2 of them. I'll be trying to replace the rubber bands with something more organic, right? Yeah, I got to figure out what. I'll probably use a braided sinew cord or something I can pull really tight. If it's plant fiber, or if it's like rawhide, I can't pull it as tight. But braided sinew is good. Alright, so let's see. I've got heat-treated Keo Cook, and I've got this mystery ranch rock I pulled out of my basement. It feels very wet for some reason, and all the stones around it were not wet at all. So this absorbs water for some reason. Look at that. Is that the chalk covering on it or something? I have no idea why it feels so damp. And it actually might knap better than the other stones it was with. So we never know. Let's break into it and see what we got. I call this ranch rock. I collect this for free. I know a couple of people that have ranches with stones on the ranches. Yeah, some of it looks okay. Some of it looks high grade. Anyways, we'll see. I was saying earlier that this stone it feels damp, like it absorbs a lot of water. And the outer chalk is, I don't know what that means, why it does that, or why it is doing that in my basement. None of the other rocks are doing that, so I don't know what that is. Here we go. I'm going to try to see what we got here. Yeah, that looks like it's not bad at all. For a free rock, yeah. That looks like we're going to have a little bit of enjoyment with this one. I don't know. That's kind of a bold statement. Are we going to enjoy this? I don't know. I think this comes from south of San Angelo, Texas. It's not Edwards Plateau Church, I don't think, unless it's on the fringe of the Edwards Plateau. I'm not sure exactly. I just know that the ranch this comes off of is south of San Angelo, maybe 45 minutes south. Plenty of rocks like this over there. A lot of artifacts made from this stuff over there too. It has that combined tan and brown flint. Because I think it's flint because it feels like it's chalk on the outside. Yeah, so it's true flint. Maybe it's too good for us to be knapping with natural tools. We might mess it up. Yeah. Oh well. It's free, so it's not heartbreaking if it doesn't work. Although it might be heartbreaking if it ends up being high-grade stuff. Let me see. So, yeah, this is like a puzzle. Is it a difficult puzzle? It can be very difficult to figure out what to do when you're first starting to break open these things. To try to preserve as much as possible, try to get big bifaces and etc., etc. How do you maximize this stuff? You gotta study it. Let's go down to a smaller hammerstone and see if that helps. Because I can't get into some of these areas with the larger hammerstone. Bobby Estes, okay. Aaron is here. Estes. Bobby Estes. Clint Evans is here. Jermaine. Okay, I already said hello to all the guys that I can see so far. Yeah, okay. So I will be checking the chat from time to time. I don't know how to break this to preserve the maximum amount possible, so I'm just going to go for it at random. Okay, all right. If you have questions, please ask now, because as I get into it, I will have less and less time to answer questions. This is mainly practice sessions for me, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays now, so I can brush up on my natural tool knapping. I started as a natural tool napper when I first started way back in 2009. I actually was trying to make arrowheads in 2007, but they didn't work out. It wasn't until like 2009 before I actually started closely examining the YouTube videos, getting the proper tools, and all that. See, I went from using, in 2007, I think I made a couple arrowheads using a screwdriver and some pliers. And then by the time 2009 rolled around, I had gotten myself a set of natural tools like this, because I saw guys making arrowheads with natural tools on YouTube. And I said, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. because that's the way they used to do it back in the day. Well, that got frustrating really fast, and I wasn't learning much off the internet that would help me, because I'm neurodivergent, yeah. So I had to develop my own style of napping. So I developed my own style as a natural tool napper, and then I said, you know what, this is just, I broke a couple of my tools and I was getting frustrated, and I switched over to copper and pretty much never looked back, because I finally started actually liking the Flintknapping after I switched to copper. But I kept doing the natural tool thing just for practice, like I'm doing now. I'm getting back into it just for practice. Some people, people want me to show them how to do it this way, so I gotta practice. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with the story. I'm just trying to distract myself a little bit while I do this. If I think about this too much, it doesn't work. Believe it or not. This is high-grade stuff. And I'm glad I got some of this. I'm going to nap it off camera, some of it. But I'll try to nap as much as I can tonight on camera. It's doing funny things, and I think it's got some internal cracks, which is pretty typical of these larger pieces. See, it's got internal crackage right there. I think it extends into this area also, and there might be some weird spots. This does not need to be heat treated. It looks like, I think we might be in luck. It does not need to be heat treated at all. Yeah. And is it translucent? What does it look like? Yeah. I don't have my pig lamp, do I? Usually the pig lamp helps me to look at translucencies. Yeah, there you go. I see a lot of artifacts made with stuff that looks like this when you shine a light through the artifacts in Texas. Yeah. All right, so here we go. Let's see if we can take care of this area by removing some good flakes. Yes. Yes, good flakes. And I'm not too upset about losing length off of it because of this nasty part right here. See that? We can't keep that. That's nasty. That doesn't nap well. This looks like these will nap well. Okay, so what else can we do to get big pieces off of this, relatively speaking? This is going to be cruddy here, so I got to make sure I don't remove too much of this nice stuff. I want to preserve this for a relatively large biface. The temptation is to keep going on this side, but no, I've got to get rid of this stuff on this side. Right? Yes. It's kind of wonky though. It's not very flat, but I can flatten it in a little while. I just need to get rid of this mess somehow while preserving the good stuff. I can get rid of the mess, but it also gets rid of the good stuff, and that's not any fun. Let's switch over to Antler and see what that does. Why does it make a difference? I don't know. I'm just going to experiment like always. I always switch around the tools and see if one tool works good and what tool. If one tool works good and the other tool works okay, and then another tool might work really good or really bad, I like to see. I don't like to stick with just one tool. All right, so this is Axis Deer. Let's see if I can remove a good flake. Well, how about this one? This one seems like I can be more accurate with it. Yeah. That's what I want. I want flakes like this, relatively flat. And it's not because I'm using Antler. It's because of the accuracy. I can be accurate and follow a high spot by hitting just right. I don't have to necessarily follow a ridge as long as it's a high spot, but I have to make sure I hit accurately in order to get that fracture to go predictably or semi-predictably. That was okay. Yeah. I don't know. It went this way a little bit too much. It would have been better if it had gone both ways. But I'll take that. Yeah. I just got to figure out what else I'm going to do. All right, so for some people, this is the hardest part of Flintknapping. And I can see why, because it requires some decision making. But I tend to not think about it too much. So the less I think about it, the easier it is, right? Yeah. And if it gets messed up, oh well. I don't lose a lot of sleep over it. Even though this might be the only really good piece of stone that's like this with the tan and brown together, it doesn't bug me if I mess it up too much. If I mess it up a little bit, it doesn't bug me. If I mess it up a lot, yeah, it might bug me. All right, anyways. Yeah, I want continuous flakes. That's what I'm looking for. Although this flake is not that great. Yeah, because it has all this messy concrete in it, but it napped okay. So maybe I can make something out of that later. Let's see what else. It's just this crackly area in here I can't do anything with. I can't do anything with it, so I got to get it out of there. Let's see, who else is in the chat? The chat's not moving. I got to check my other phone. Yeah, let me check my other phone and see if there's questions. Okay, so let's see if we got some questions. Come on, where is it? There it is. My other phone is working. Turn the volume all the way down. Make sure I got the volume all the way down on these phones. All right, let's see. Where's my live video? It says I only got 16 views? Holy moly. That's not right. All right, so here we go. What do I got? Oh, I missed a lot of chat. See, my second phone, I can see the chat. All right, so let's see what we got. I've been camping since Monday, says Jim. Jim Maine. I just got home this afternoon. I had a blast, though. Great weather. Yeah, it's getting pretty hot. Jeremy says, I live in Sweetwater, Texas, about 75 miles north of San Angelo. Yeah, you're going to have to go quite a ways to go to these areas where you can find this stuff. Yeah, it's about 35 to 45 minutes south of San Angelo. There's lots of ranch rock. Let's see. Clint Evans. That's great. I'm ready to go camping. Yep. I don't like going camping up here anymore because there's so many Lyme disease ticks. It's a bummer. The Panda Dan. Do you want some rainbow obsidian? Yes, of course. Send me an email, please. Mr. Panda Dan, that would be awesome. Stoneface is here. Ross Wellman. Hey guys. Hey, good evening. Good evening. Let's see here. Melvin Rose is here. Hey, Melvin. You should recognize some of this stuff. Yeah, I think Melvin got some of this stuff. Or has some. Brandon is here. Jesse Yaki Napper is here. Hey guys, happy Friday. Yep. All right, let's see. How's everything going tonight? Awesome. Everything's fantastically great and tremendously awesome. Eric Kitty is here. Okay, nap time. Evening. Let's see. What flavor cookie is that? Yeah, I don't answer questions like that anymore. It just rocks, okay? I call it ranch rock. I don't know what it's called. Maybe someone in the chat can answer for me, because I don't answer the questions of what material is it. No, I'm going to stop answering that question. Yeah, let's see here. Mr. Jim. And it's not because I don't like you. It's because I have to answer that too many times, and I don't want to be spending a lot of time researching the types of rocks and the names and trying to remember the names. And then when it comes to the chat, spending time talking about what type of rock it is. Because it doesn't matter to me. Yeah, I wear safety glasses. These are my safety glasses, which are also reader glasses. I think this is 1.25 magnification from Walmart. Yeah, it says 1.25 on there, but it's not focusing. Okay, I'm checking the chat on another phone because the phone I'm filming with is lame. Let's see. A lot of us don't wear... Yeah, you should wear some sort of eye protection when you're napping, especially with obsidian, but with everything, it's just smarter if you do. It might throw off your depth perception, which can throw off your napping entirely, but after you get used to it, I think it'll work better for you. Yeah, I wear reading glasses while I nap. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I just slapped the back of my head if I get flakes in my eyes like Ishi the Indian did. Yeah, I wish. The Panda Dan is asking people if they have any interest in some really nice obsidian. I already said yes, but I guess you guys can chime in also. Eric Kitty says, I wish I had some money for said really nice obsidian. Yeah, is he selling it? Let's see, I'm worried there's a shard on my glove when I have to scratch my face. Yeah, don't scratch your face. Let's see. Brandon says, I got blessed with a nice assortment of obsidian in a trade at Niblets Bluff at the Knapping in Louisiana. Awesome. I got some black butter arriving tomorrow, says Mr. Jim. Let's see. Any questions? Any questions? No questions? AM Outdoors is here, camping on Slow Beach tonight. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah. Okay, let's see. Yeah, some people, all I got is freeze crack rock unless I dig really deep. Uncle Mike Bob is here. Jesse, Yucky Napper, Jerky Travel Fund, $10 super chat. Thank you. Let me see. Brandon says, I get free rock out of a parking lot landscape sometimes. Ain't gonna lie. Yes, I've been there and done that. Luckily, I didn't have to do it too many times because there was a bunch that I could get for free on a couple of different ranches. It's not very big pieces. This is one of the biggest pieces right here of ranch rock that I've got. In fact, it's the biggest piece I found today. I'm still trying to get it reduced down without losing too much. I want a biface out of it. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to get arrowhead-sized chunks, which is good. It's working out. At the same time, I'm trying to get rid of nasty areas. And I end up with a biface. Yeah. And the way I'm conducting this live stream, I'm not going to get many viewers because I'm too slow. But I'll be taking my time throughout this whole process because I'm relearning a bunch of stuff. Getting used to the natural tools. So this is not a performance type of live stream. This is not a entertainment live stream. This is me practicing and answering questions and saying hi to all the guys that normally contribute to our community and participate. Yeah. Okay. All right. A lot of these guys have their own channels too. Okay, so if you're just a internet wanderer, check out their channels. Yeah. Do some snooping around. You'll see these guys also post Flintknapping videos, and you might like them better than mine. Yeah. Oh, that was a nice one. See, this This stuff knaps well. Yeah, this is for raw stone. And this, you can save a bunch of flakes like this and use them for tools. Just grind on one side if you need to. If it has like a dull spot, you can hold it really easily. And this stuff will cut notches for arrowheads in the foreshafts. If you got a foreshaft, you need to carve a notch. You can do a lot of it with this, but you've got to put teeth in it. So you can use it like a saw. Get it started, and then you can carve out the notches. I'll be doing some natural tool woodworking too. As soon as I get into it. As soon as I get caught up on all my flint knapping, I'm going to switch over to doing a lot more with bows and arrows. Not just the points. Yep. Bows, arrows, foreshafts, and ladles and ladle darts. Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't want to have my life flint knapping heavy because it's kind of hazardous. I can't be doing this for too many years. I probably already have some lost lung capacity. I don't have any symptoms, but sometimes you're asymptomatic. You don't notice that you have lung capacity loss until it's too late. So I'll be getting into more of the woodworking with stone tools, bows and arrows. I'm working on some bows right now, getting back into that. I have to practice and get some wood seasoned before I start showing it on video. Okay? But I will be showing it on video. Yeah. Luckily, this is not bad quality at all. This is working out okay. For a free ranch rock, it's awesome. It's got some problems, but it's not too bad. Yeah. Okay. And oh yeah, before I forget, I don't know if he's here yet. Is Justin here in the house? I found some chalcedony. I think this is it. Right? I got some stuff from the Brady Knapping, and I think this is from the Brady Knapping that I got from Justin, or I can't remember. Right? Or who is it? Who is it? I don't know. Somebody sent me some pictures in the community section of our channel here. Let me just look it up and see who it was so I don't make a mistake. Okay? So it was Brandon. Yeah. Brandon sent me some obsidian. No. Sent me some chalcedony. And it looks like this. Right? So I think this is it. I'll try to nap it if it is. Okay, Brandon? Yeah, Brandon. Let me go back to the live stream. Excuse me. I think I need to drink some water, but hold on. Let me look at the live and see. Hey, Tradbo 85's here. Man, that red hunk is awesome. Yeah. Dakota says I have whitetail antlers as I bought antlers 25 years ago. Yeah. Dave, Dakota horn has lots of antlers and big ones too. What's worse, flint dust versus wood dust? Flint dust, yeah. Unless you're allergic to the wood dust, then it's about the same. But flint dust is actually pretty bad for you over time. Yeah. Obsidian dust is not nearly as bad as flint dust, because flint dust causes a chemical reaction in the lungs, but obsidian dust does not. So it's safer to nap obsidian, believe it or not, or glass, for your lungs. Maybe not for the rest of you, but for your lungs, yes. Let's see. I don't see Brandon. Okay, Brandon is in the chat. He says yes. That's it. Okay, so this is it. I'm glad. Now let me write your name on there, because I didn't do it during the nap-in. Whoops, that's the wrong pen. Let's see. Excuse me while I take a little break to get organized here. Okay, so this is Brandon Petty's rock. I should have done this during the nap-in. Okay, let's see. Make sure I get the name correctly spelled. Yeah. Sometimes I also mispronounce these names. Okay, and that's a Brady 2006. 2026. Okay. All of this stuff is from you, Brandon. I'm thinking, well, I'll just keep it in the same little bin. All right, so I'll try napping this in a little bit. I might do it on a challenge night. If I don't get to it tonight or over the weekend, I'll do it on a challenge night. Okay? Where was I? Awesome. I'm glad I found it. I'm glad I found your chalcedony. It looks kind of tough, I have to admit. So I'm not sure exactly what I'll get out of it. All right, so I'm trying to get nice flakes and a biface at the same time, which is doubly difficult with natural tools because natural tools are not that easy to use. Okay, it takes more practice, more finesse, more dedication, more pain and suffering. It takes more of everything in flint knapping to get good with natural tools. And despite what anybody says, they are not easier, they are not better, they are not more efficient, they're not nothing. No, they're worse than copper. Okay? All right. You know, I'll have people that disagree with me, but that's fine. You can disagree with me. In fact, you should. But don't just disagree with me. That should become your overall habit. I hope I can develop some good habits in you so that you'll question everything. Yeah. Okay. So let's see here. I got to get rid of this mess on the back side here, but I got to make sure. See, this is too rounded and too steep. I got to dig out some of this on the side here to get a good place to strike. Let's see, this can be done much easier with copper. To get into these areas, to just remove a flake. I just want to remove a little flake. That's it. That's it. It shouldn't be so difficult, but it is. Yeah, like that. So I can get in here. It'll give me some purchase. Need a little bit more. Yeah, like that. So I can get a little ledge to work with when I hit. It'll hit better. I don't know how else to say it. Okay? I mean, I know how else to say it, but it's too technical. And I don't want to get into the technicalities because it can go wrong. I can say something wrong really easily and not even notice. I'll think something and I'll say it wrong and I'll think I said it correctly. And then I'll look back on the video and I'll go, dang it, it's wrong. And I was trying very, very hard to be serious and it didn't work. Let's see. Yeah, see, there we go. See, I was able to hit that right where I wanted it. That's what I wanted. Right where I could get that antler to grip the edge or to hit a good surface. Yeah, hit that good surface right there. See, it deposited some antler right there, but that's where I wanted to hit, just so you know. And no, it does not work as good as copper, or it does not work really good. All right? You got to get that out of your head that these tools work really good. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, like that. Nice. Yes. I can feel that in my wrist. I had to hit harder with this than with a regular copper bopper or steel bopper or any other kind of bopper. Okay. This is you know, it's raw stone, so it's not like obsidian. There it is. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now it's just a matter of zigzagging it, pretty much. As long as I don't miss, it should be all right. If I miss, you know, and I hit the wrong spot and my accuracy's off, it could ruin it. I got myself a good little chunk now without a lot of bad issues. I think this is solid. It's got a turtle back, but it looks like it's solid. No cracks, no internal bad issues except that little spot right there, which is not bad at all. There's still some cortex here, but not bad at all. Okay, we're gonna lose a lot of material before we get something good, but at least it's solid. Yeah. So, you know, we're not going to waste our time. If it's solid, we can pretty much plan on having something. Whereas if I could see defects in this, there would be not much hope for something. But this, I'm very hopeful. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. Let's knock off a few more flakes, and then we'll start cleaning up a little bit and move on to the next stage. Okay? I combined two stages with this one, removing large flakes and getting a biface. I did it at the same time. Okay? Most people, that's what they want to see. All right. There we go. No, that's not good. Anyways. They probably want to see it without words. But every time I do one of these without words, that people don't like it. So I don't know. I get more views if I don't talk, but I get more complaints when I don't talk. It's funny how that works. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, I think that's the first stage, or the first and second stages. I don't know how to explain this. When I did two stages at the same time, I did removing large flakes from a core, plus simultaneously I got a biface. Okay, so simultaneous stages. You know, the flaking off a core, and sometimes these are discarded, especially if the center is nasty. On a lot of stone, the center actually gets worse and worse as you do this. In this case, it doesn't look like it's worse and worse, so we're in luck. Okay? And you can't get a biface out of it. But in this case, with this particular stone, I got both a biface and usable flakes for future points simultaneously. So we got lucky. Okay, here we go. Let's clean up a little bit. And then I'll check the chat, see if there's questions. And then we'll move on to the next stage. We got 2 hours, right? How many? We only used up 39 minutes. Okay. So, where is an empty basket? Any empty baskets around here? I should have one or two. Yeah, I got this basket. Let's see. You guys can take a break and make a sandwich or something. I'm not going to be napping for a few minutes because I'll be checking the chat and I'll be cleaning up. Okay, so go and do your business and come back. All right, so put those in here, and then I'll collect all the good flakes in this basket for the future I gotta do something about this nasty wet dirt on the outside of this. I guess that's just dirt, but it could be the chalky exterior degrading in my basement of my house. That's where it's been stored for the last few months. It absorbed a lot of water. Alright, so maybe this has lots of water in it. It's a very absorbent stone, maybe? I don't know. I really don't notice much difference in the stone between stuff that they say is saturated with water and stuff that isn't. I usually just dry out all my stones so I have a consistent reference point. Baseline. The baseline for me is dry stone. Yeah. If all of my stone is dry, I can compare it. But if some of it's wet, some of it's dry, I don't have a baseline for comparison because I don't know if water affects it. Okay? So if there's no water in it, there's nothing to worry about. Okay? As far as that goes. Is water affecting it? No, because there's no water in it. I dry it out. That's the answer to that question. All right? All right. Yeah. I know some people say, yeah, no wonder people will watch more when you don't talk. Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. Yes, I do. We're going to move on to the next stage. All right. I need to be able to dump this instead of just pushing it to the side. Let me see if I can get this dumped instead of just pushing it to the side. Or maybe I can hide it. Yeah, let's just hide it in between the layers of towel. The layers of towel? It sounds like a dungeon. Yeah. I used to play Dungeons and Dragons, and that layer of towel sounds like a dungeon. Or one of the levels. Okay. Here we go. I hid it underneath the towel. That way I can dump it easier instead of having it all over my floor. Okay. All right. I think I like it better already. So we've got 3 things that we need to nap tonight. This is the easiest one, okay? The heat-treated keel cook. We're going to break into this next. Now that we have our little, is it root beer chert? Yeah, I guess you could consider it root beer, but it's got little bits of tan in it too, so it's not solid. Anyway, I guess you could say this is root beer types. See, it has bands of peanut butter looking stuff or whatever it's called. Okay, these are our useful batch of flakes. Let me check the chat with my other phone, since the phone I'm using to film this with is lame. I can't see the whole chat. Let's see here. You guys talking to each other, which is perfectly fine. Chris Hill, I need to get in the mood for glass. I got a bunch of preforms and some of that blue quartz from Danny. I can't wait till it's here. Awesome. Danny is Danny Collins, I guess, right? For people who don't know. Jim Cooper says, yeah, definitely candy's up nice. I've successfully treated the pastelite from there too, but it takes more heat. I see. Hey, Rockin' Pops Adventures. Stacy's here. Hey, Patrick and everybody. Can you make me a sandwich too? Yep. Yeah, while I check the chat, you guys can go do your business, run an errand or whatever. Pick up your pizza or I don't know. Then come back. Let's see. Honda Shade Tree says, this is very therapeutic. I'm glad you think so. Yep. Tradbo 85. I've been working on learning vertical punch with whitetail tying. It's been a struggle. Yeah, vertical punch, it's hard to see what you're doing. I don't know. See, with me, I have a hard time seeing what I'm doing. I'm curious what trouble you're having with the vertical punches. All right, so let's see. Eric Kitty wants to get in touch with Jim Cooper. Yeah. You can send me an email, and if Jim Cooper says I can share his address or his email, I'll give it to you. Eric Kitty, you have my email address, right? I mean, you should be able to see it from descriptions or whatever on my channel. In my bio, I have a bio for my channel. Too fast to drive, says Copper for the win, but moose I love. Yeah, if you'll notice that I don't have any more moose antler in my collection. I gave it all away. I spent hundreds of dollars on moose antler. For me, it breaks. I cracked so many pieces of moose antler that I guess I got tired of it. I don't like moose antler. But it doesn't matter. That shouldn't matter to you. If you like it, great. I don't like moose antler. In fact, I can't stand it. Yeah. Let's see here. I spent, and it made it worse that I spent hundreds of dollars on it. Because everyone on the internet said, yeah, it's good. It's great stuff. Yeah, but says who? Not me. Marty Wybe's here. Hello, hello. Let's see. Who else did I miss? Lance McIlwain. What up, Crafty? I'm a little late tonight. Don't worry about it. I'm going to go for hours on this live stream. Yeah, my email address for anybody who does not know is jackcrafty2@gmail.com. Jackcrafty, all one word, plus the number 2 at gmail.com. There was a jackcrafty1, yes, but it's on a different email platform. It's not Gmail. I have a jackcrafty1, but it's on a different platform. But and that one doesn't work. Yeah. So the only email you can get me at reliably on is jackcrafty2@gmail.com. And then send me an email if you want to get in touch with anybody, or you want to send your contact info to anybody. Just let me know. I'll check the emails and see who needs whose info. Jesse says the moose is not cheap. I got a mega one from a Knapping, but online it's very expensive. Yes, true. Relation file spirit. Have you ever found arrowheads made from a meteorite or meteorite glass? Personally, no, I have not. But I've got a friend who has I don't know about meteorite glass, but the glass formed from meteorite impact. I do have a friend that has some of that glass that's formed from meteorite impact, but I don't think he has an arrowhead made from it, or maybe he does. I think he might have made an arrowhead from it, and that's the only one I've seen. It's a modern arrowhead made from meteorite impact glass. I think that's what you might mean, right? Okay, let's see. Any other questions? No other questions? Gulf Coast Knapping is here. What's up? Awesome. Everybody's here. You missed the best part. Yeah. I did something simultaneously. I did multitasking. I'm very proud of myself. Let's see. So we're gonna break into Brandon's chalcedony and see if this is going to be a challenge, a big challenge. Okay. Let's see if I can knock a piece off. I've seen stuff like this before, so I'm not going to be promising anything. It looks pretty tough, but we'll see what's going to happen. Yeah, let's see here. I might have to heat treat this. Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to heat treat this. Yeah, this is worse than the quartzite I was knapping the other day. It is very crumbly. Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, nappability, this is about a 2. Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10. And if it doesn't fracture properly, when I'm going to try to reduce it, then it goes down to about a 1 as far as nappability. Now, that's not too bad there. But you get into this lighter color stuff, it's not good. So this right here naps okay. So the less light the color, the better. So the best stuff is like right here, it looks like. Let's see. And it's got quartz pockets or whatever they're called. Something like that. You can make little arrowheads out of this kind of stuff. Yeah. As long as it's not cracked. It's got a crack in it. See, it had a crack, and it had a natural crack in it. I was just barely tapping it. I could see that it had a natural crack in it. All right, so I could make something out of this part here. This darker stuff, but this lighter stuff is not that nappable at all. And it looks like quartzite and not chalcedony. But, you know, it could be chalcedony. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an expert, and I try not to think about this too much as far as the names of everything. Let's see if I can get a good piece off of this side. And I'm going to be honest with you too, okay? So I'm not going to sugarcoat my evaluation. No, it's not going to be easy. And if you think that this stuff is what I normally nap or something similar, no, this is not. In case you're thinking it's going to be easy, this is not easy. If you're having a hard time with it, there's a reason. This is not easy to nap. Okay? All right. Hope that helps. Hope I'm not sounding like I don't appreciate you sending me this. I can see sparks flying too. Believe it or not. Let's see if I can get a good big flake. Come on, come on. You can do it. No, it can't do it. No, I can't do it. Let's see. How about down here? I broke my hammerstone on it. Yeah, we're going to have to hit this with steel or something. My hammerstones, I can't handle it. See, I broke my hammerstone. So we're going to have to either heat treat this and use steel or something on it, or both. Yeah. We have some of this, or I have some of this from another location. It's not exactly like this, but it's similar. And yeah, I've got it sitting waiting for heat treat. Also, so this needs to be heat treated, Brandon. Where's my pen? Needs heat. And it probably will get better with heat. I'm going to try 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And I got to make sure I specify Fahrenheit, because some of these guys in Europe think that, oh, 400 degrees Celsius? No, 400 degrees Fahrenheit. 400 degrees Celsius or centigrade is way too hot. It's going to ruin it. Okay. Yeah. So let's get back to this other piece and move on to something a little bit less destructive. Yeah. That not only hurts my hammerstone, but it hurts me too. Yeah. I've been using this hammerstone for a while. It's been with me almost the whole trip. Almost my whole Flintknapping journey. Really? Probably not. I don't know I can't remember how long I've been using this. Maybe 2 years, 3 years, something like that. I don't know. I don't have any of my original tools that I started my journey with, so don't worry about it. I'm just being dramatic, okay? All right, so I shouldn't be goofing around too much on these natural tool Flintknapping videos because it's a whole different audience. Okay? It's a whole different audience for these videos. They want to see something serious. All right. This is heat treated Keokuk. It's a small Vermont hammerstone, right? 2222. Yeah. All right, so yeah, I just wanted to make sure this is heat treat. It is heat treat. I'm going to get back to the other one here in a minute. I just wanted to see how this reacts. Oh yeah, we're going to have some fun with this one. I might not get to this one tonight. We'll save it with my natural tools for the next time. Oh yes. One thing that's different from my style, or with my style, is I like to use very small hammerstones. They produce good results for me. I don't know. Some people don't like them. But when I first started, everyone was using big hammerstones, and they didn't work right. For me, I didn't like the big hammerstones. A couple of reasons right off the bat. It hurt my wrist because I had carpal tunnel syndrome at the time. Carpal tunnel syndrome. And they were unnecessary for the types of points that I needed to make. I wanted to make smaller points. So I got used to using small hammerstones. And I can use small hammerstones on something big. Like that. I can make, reasonable size flakes with just a small hammerstone. I got used to them. Okay? All right. Sometimes people will ask me, what is different about your style? And one of the things is I like to use small hammerstones. I do have big ones, like I was using that big one earlier because it allows me to really dig in. Because that chalcedony just before this was pretty tough, so I needed to really dig in to see if I can get a good flake. But other than that, I don't need big hammerstones. Anyways, that's good enough for now. Yeah. Okay, let's put this with my natural tool. We'll nap this later. Try not to break my calculator. All right, so let's clean up and get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Yeah. What is this? This is something that I display so people won't ask me what I'm doing. Yeah, that's all. That's the only reason why that's there is so people hopefully won't ask me what am I doing? What are you doing? Well, let's see. You can read that and you can see that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Does that work or not? No? Oh well. I'm hiding the flakes, okay? We're going to play hide the flakes. Yeah. Usually I just dump them right where I'm sitting on the floor, but then it takes a long time to clean those up later. Well, not a long time, but you know, it's just a pain to clean those up. Where I can just keep them in a towel and scoop them into the trash that way. Yeah, I throw my flakes away in the trash so they end up in the landfill or over at the recycle center with a bunch of other stuff that is modern looking, so I don't get them mixed up with real artifacts. Okay? All right. Because they allow concrete to be thrown away in the recycle center where I get rid of my flakes. So my flakes are sitting right next to a bunch of concrete, modern concrete. And then they push more trash, lawn trash mainly, into that area also. So it's flakes that I dump in there, and there's lawn trash, there's leaves, there's concrete, there's all kinds of stuff. So it's all modern stuff. So it doesn't get confused with the archaeological record. All right, so where am I? Here I am. I'm going to try and make something with this. Don't ask me what kind of material it is, because I'm not going to answer that question anymore. Unless I know for sure, because I'm doing a rock challenge, like the chalcedony that Brandon sent me. I'll mention the name there, because I'll write it down, or they're in the chat, and then they'll say what it is. But other than that, I'm going to stop telling you what the materials are. You guys can answer the question, but I'm not. No. I'm getting tired of that question. Doesn't matter. Even if I told you, you probably wouldn't be able to get a hold of it. Because this came from private property. Yeah. With very limited access. Why do I have access? Because my friend who's a taxidermist has very limited access too. He's got very exclusive access, and I had to go along with him whenever I want to go to these ranches. I can't just go by myself. I have to be escorted. Like security needs to follow me, so to speak. Right? Right. Okay. Anyways, I think what's happened in Texas is too many people have misbehaved while collecting rocks. So even though they know me now, they're not going to take any chances. Okay, and I don't blame them, because there's been too much shenanigans going on with rock collecting. A few have spoiled it for the rest of us. Yeah. So the next stage here is, it's getting harder and harder to do, right? These stages get harder and harder as I progress. So I'm going to be going slower and slower, maybe talking less and less, being more and more careful as I go, and maybe even more indecisive, not knowing what I should do next. This is not a performance art. It's more like a sport. And yeah, sports can be entertaining, but with Flintknapping, it's a sport that's unusual, because if I crash and fail, it's not entertaining. Whereas if you see a crash and fail in another sport, it is entertaining. Yeah. But people don't want to see crashing and failing on Flintknapping. Yeah. Anyways, let's see what we got here. Natural tools require a lot more practice. So on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm slowly changing this format into practice sessions and being more serious. because I need to focus. And then once I get better at this, I'll be posting more videos on my Allergic Hobbit channel. And I also want to be able to do this kind of napping and the metal tool and modern napping and transition between the two. All right, that part's not easy either unless you do both at the same time. You get used to the transition. So 4 days a week I do the modern tool thing, and then 3 days a week I'm going to be doing this natural tool thing. And I'll be combining them every week, and hopefully the transition between the two won't be so bad. I know it won't be. The more I do it, the better I get at it. So I'll be able to transition back and forth. The more I do this, the easier it is to transition back and forth. Yeah, it makes a difference. There is a big difference between the two, between the modern tools and the natural tools. Big difference. In a sport or an activity like this, where subtle differences can make all the difference, big differences can just change the whole ball game to where you can't do either one if you can't make that adjustment. Yeah. Anyways. There it is. Yeah, like that. The edges have to be more perfect with the natural tools than with the modern tools. Which kind of drives me nuts. It's not going to do it. Okay. Yeah, okay. I don't know if you can see the sparks flying. For some reason, this is very sparky type material. No. Let's thin down this first, and then we can go to thinning down the middle. Yeah. Yeah, that's not good. Too much. But, you know, I had to increase the amount of force because it wasn't doing anything. And then all of a sudden, boom. A little bit too much force. But, oh well. It goes with the territory. Yep. You lose more material with this technique, with the natural tools, than you would with the metals. But I don't care what anybody says. Yeah. Good. And yeah, I took off a little bit off the tip before I did this in the middle because slight differences in imbalance. If it's imbalanced, it can break it in half. Believe it or not. Needs to be thin on the ends before you tackle the middle. I find it safer that way. It doesn't need to be. I say need because that's my own requirement, but it doesn't have to be. It's just safer. Just like you don't have to wear safety glasses or you don't have to wear a respirator. When doing this, it's just safer if you do. So thinning down the ends is safer when you're trying to thin down the middle. Okay? Yeah. And the edges need a little bit extra care when you're doing this type of knapping because there's so many inconsistencies in the tool tips. You know, the Antler is a natural material. It is not always predictable. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and it's just a mystery why it's doing what it's doing. Whereas metals are very consistent. It's usually not the tool that's messing up if it is messing up. But with this, you don't know if it's the tool messing up or you messing up. You don't know if it's abrading the same. See, abrading stones, they have different consistencies. Sometimes the top layer is really hard and then it's softer on the inside. Sometimes the opposite. Soft on the outside and it gets harder on the inside. So as you're doing this and it's changing consistency, as an example, and it's not abrading right, you're thinking to yourself, have I forgot how to abrade? What's going on? Why is it not abrading correctly? Something's up. I must be losing my touch. I must be out of control. No, it's because the tools you're using are not consistent. And I don't care what anybody says. It's difficult to judge whether it's you or the materials when you're knapping with this kind of natural tool situation. Okay? All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to get into that sweet zone with this stuff, but it's not easy because some spots are tougher than others. Yeah, this is high grade natural stone. I consider this high grade stuff, but it does have little spots that are tougher than others. Luckily, there isn't too much mess in here anymore. Like, there's just a little pocket of nasty stuff right there. I think that's it. There was a little pocket of crunchy material up here near the tip, but that's gone. So we should be in pretty good shape now that all that other stuff's gone. Yeah. And this is interesting material. It's going to be translucent. Yeah. Once I get it thinner, it'll be translucent like that. Okay. So I'm doing mostly direct percussion right now, but I'll be switching when the time is right to indirect percussion and then do pressure flaking. I do divide my knapping into stages. We're almost done with the preliminary thinning, okay? So once we're done with the preliminaries on the thinning, I'm going to check the chat and all that before I move on to the final thinning. So always keep the ends thinner than the middle. And I'm anticipating how thin the middle is going to get. And to make sure, and I'm trying to make sure that the ends are going to be thinner when this starts getting thin. So the ends I'm going to make sure in my mind and hopefully reflected in the stone, thin the ends thinner than the potential thinness of the middle. I'm looking to see how thin the middle is going to get, and I got to make sure, so to speak, that the ends are thinner than that. Okay? It doesn't do any good to kind of sort of thin the ends and then take too much off the middle. Then you know that's, you're going to break it and you're going to snap it in half. If you do that, you got to plan ahead a little bit. Because I'll be hitting this really hard to be able to get those flakes to come off. And everything's got to be just right. More just right than with the modern tools. Modern tools let you get away with a lot of stuff. Okay. That kind of worked. Yeah, it's forcing me to do too much. I don't like hitting the ends at this stage. But it's not allowing me to thin it from the sides very well. How is it not allowing me? It just doesn't seem to be allowing me because it's either wobbling too much or the edge is getting too thin. Yeah, the edges can get too thin on the ends as you're trying to thin the ends. They can get really thin and it doesn't allow you to do what you want. But I gotta try anyways. And in the process of trying, I got to take some chances. I do have to thin these ends down. I do not want this to break in half. See, it's just eating the antler for lunch. When I strengthen the edge, I want a long flake right there, and it doesn't like it. Yeah, it doesn't like it at all. I change the edge a little bit, make it less dull. Maybe that'll convince it to let me have that flake. Yes. Okay. Yeah. All right. So it wanted a sharper edge. Okay, that's fine. Sometimes it wants a sharper edge. Sometimes it wants a duller edge. Yeah, like that. So I just need to keep doing that. You know, slowly but surely. Advance slowly. Because if I go too fast, it'll get angry at me. Yeah. And once the stone gets angry at me, it doesn't cooperate at all. Yeah, like that. So the stone's not angry at me yet. We shall see. The night is still young. Okay. And yes, I can be using indirect percussion right now, but I need bigger flakes than I normally get with indirect percussion right now. So I'm still using the billet. Why do I want bigger flakes? Because I want bold flakes. Bold flakes keep the surface smooth, which makes it easier for future flakes. The only problem is if it messes up because of lack of accuracy. This is lack of accuracy. The flake went that way. I don't know if it's because something is wrong with the shape of this. It looks fine, but it could have hit in the wrong spot because of the odd shape. But it looks okay. I don't know why it caused that. It's a misdirection of the flake. It's supposed to go this way, but it went that way. And it started to dig in, and now there's a undetached area. Oh well. If I use something that hits with a smaller impact zone, it might work better, but I could scoop out a lot. I could end up scooping out too much, but let's just try it. See, this one has a smaller impact area than that one. This one has a bigger impact area, right? This one has a smaller one, but it's also lighter and it's longer. It's different than the one I'm using, the one I was just using. So I had to try to adapt to this on the fly, which could mess everything up. But we'll try it little by little and go slow. Sneak up on it. It probably needs more grinding because the force is more concentrated. I could tell that it crushed a little bit, so I'm thinking, probably needs more grinding. Okay. So that I might be able to get into a sweet zone with this piece. This piece. Yeah, let's see. I say might. Depends. It all depends on the initial conditions. Yes? Okay, that's good. If we just creep in like that, it'd be all right. Okay. It's not going to do it, right? It's starting to get to the point where it's not going to do it anymore. It's doing it down there. Just something up here is not right. It's a different consistency probably. Up here near the tip, you can see there's a little bit of a change in color and glossiness. It's a little bit duller up here than it is down here. And you can see that I had trouble thinning the tip earlier, so I just left it. But this could be a problem, definite problem. It's shaped pretty good down here, but that's probably because of the consistency of the stone. Up here, it's not as good as down here, right? That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Yes, okay, here we go. No. I think we've taken as far as we can go with direct percussion. Now I have to switch over to indirect percussion. Okay, so it's a different stage. All right. I'm going to check the chat too. It's been an hour and a half. Okay. 30 minutes to finish up? Yeah. I'm not going to be able to finish up in 30 minutes, so we'll go over. I can tell it's going to take me longer than 30 minutes to make a point out of this. Just because I'm intentionally going slow. I don't want to break it in half. No. And I could. I'd show you how weak it is. It gets weaker and weaker as it gets thinner and thinner. And I can show you how weak it is by breaking it on purpose. Yeah. Why would I say something like that? Because some people, I guess they don't know that it gets weaker and weaker as it gets thinner. I mean, they can figure that out, but by looking at it, they think that, you know, as you progress, you get used to it and it's easier. Or you get in the zone and now you're cooking with gas. And you'll be able to thin it down and finish it out. No. That might be how it looks to a spectator, but that's not the reality. Okay. Yeah. We're never home free with this stuff. Okay. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Oh, I was gonna check the chat. Dang it. Let me see if I can get this last flake. Yes? Yeah. Alright, I'll check the chat now. That makes me feel better. It's a little bit wonky, but we can take care of that in a minute. Yeah, we can unwonkify it. Come on. Yeah, and we'll take care of the, step fractures and stuff in a little while too. We still have more thinning to go. So in the process of getting it thinner, we'll take care of these step fractures and all these other things that are not so great. Yeah, we're getting there. Okay. Let's see. Let's look at the flashlight perspective. Is it getting thinner? More translucent? More translucent as we get thinner. Oh, yes. Look at that. Yeah, like that. Okay. I gotta like my own live stream. I didn't like it. All right, so here we go. We're gonna check the chat and see where we're at. Revelation File Spirit says near the tip seems to have a pocket of different material, like a something stone. Yeah, it is different up near the tip. it's a lighter, more translucent, lighter color, more translucent, and a little bit duller. So that gives you an indication that it is different, at least in those characteristics. But nappability also changes in this case also. It naps much better down here as far as running long flakes. But I think it's not going to be an issue. Even though it's tougher up here, it's going to be more narrow, so it's not going to be that hard to run flakes, because I only need to run short flakes. The only problem I see is being able to generate enough pressure when I do the final pressure flaking on this tough area up near the tip. I got to be careful with how much pressure I use, because I could just pressure flake the whole tip right off if I use way too much pressure, which is something that's easy to do when you're having difficulty. Jimmy says, howdy from Central Texas. Love watching you nap. Thank you, thank you. Chris Hill says, I wish I had been into napping when I lived in Texas. Yeah. Hey, Jay is here. Wilderness Quest Outdoors. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. I'm checking the chat, okay, guys? Jorge Valadez, 1999 Taos Nap Funds. Awesome. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. That's very generous. You guys are being very generous. It helps a lot. Let's see. Let's see, where are we? Any questions? Jay says he's been napping too much, so he just scratched his nose and pulled a muscle in his neck. Dang, that's not fun. Stoneface says, yeah, Jesse, I'd love to work some of that stone. What is Jesse giving out? Is he giving out some stone? Jesse's been watching the French napping vids. He can't understand a word except silex. Yeah. Which means flint, I suppose. I don't know if it means flint or chert. I think it means flint. Yeah, Chris Hill. I can use indirect percussion just about anywhere. I make a decision based on the size of flakes that I want. If it's going to require a lot of force to generate the kind of flake I want, I try direct percussion first, and then I go to indirect if that doesn't work. It's just, most of these flint napping episodes, you just go by feel. Yeah. I try to explain it in depth, and I will also try to explain it in depth in my tutorial videos. But I got to be honest, half the time I'm just guessing, because a lot of it is by feel. It's not technical. It's all by feel. I think it, like 90% of it is just by feel. Your brain takes over all the complicated stuff, and if it just doesn't feel right, and it's not an emotional type of feeling, it is a stress type of feeling. Either it's stressful or it's not. You got to gauge the amount of stress you're undergoing. The subconscious will tell you with stress if you're in a danger zone. Back off a little bit or change your strategy. Okay? And yeah, it is a form of intuition, but it's a skill intuition and not an emotional intuition. There's a difference. Okay. Garrett says, watching this is better than any Marvel movie. You think so? Wow. I'm glad you think so. Yes, yes. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Any questions? Any questions? Questions? Revelation file spirit. Could it not be the granite you're using, making sparks, as they are full of quartz as well? Yeah, but this is not granite. This is quartzite or orthoquartzite. Orthoquartzite. And this is some kind of sandstone. it was making sparks with the sandstone. All of this is silica, basically, but it's just different forms of silica and mixed with different, I don't know, compounds, I guess. But yeah, I use mainly quartzite and sandstone. You can tell the difference between quartzite. This is a quartzite. All these down here are quartzites. This I don't know. This one might be. See, it has a lot of mica in it. I found it here in Vermont. It has like a glittery. I can't see the shiny specks. But this is a river cobble that got tumbled right into the shape. But it's good for materials that are kind of soft, right? This doesn't smash the edge as much as a hard hammerstone. But I prefer hard hammerstones. I was using this hard hammerstone on Keokuk, which is relatively soft. I still use hard hammerstones on almost everything. But once in a while, I'll use a softer hammerstone because sometimes it helps me get in the zone where I get the sweet spot between the tool and the stone. There's a sweet spot, perhaps, and it starts knapping well. I experiment with different things. Okay? All right. Let's see. Any other questions, comments, or complaints? Dakota Horn is leaving. Okay, we'll see you later, Dave. Scott Goldsberry says hi. Let's see. Yeah, see you later, Dave. Thanks for joining us. Lord of the Gooner says, I'm getting back into knapping in the future. Is there ways I can improvise with tools, or do I have to buy online? Oh, you can improvise a lot. Yeah, and especially if you're a dumpster diver or a scrounger or a rock hound, if you did something like that in your previous life, do it. Improvise. Oh, yes. Anything else? Anything else? Paleo Wizard says, hey, Patrick. Hello, hello. Okay, so let me get back into this. I'm going to see how thin I can get this. It seems like pretty strong material, but I'm not going to take it for granted, so I'm not going to take it for granted. Did I say take it for granted? I'm not going to take it for granted that this will get really thin, so I'm probably going to stop before it gets really thin. I don't say it's not going to get too thin. Before it starts getting really thin, I'm going to stop. I don't know if it'll snap in half easily. I really don't know. Okay, I see what you're going to do. It's going to take its revenge on my tools. It doesn't want to be a narrowhead. Yeah. It's eating my tools for lunch. Oh, come on. Don't make me get the copper out, because I will. I've done it before. When the stuff's not behaving, I will get the copper out. Yes, yes. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. It shouldn't be necessary. If it starts to look like it's going to break in half, I will get the copper out to get that thin down. If I can't do it with the antler, that's it. Oh, it's thick down here. What happened down here? I didn't thin it down. Yeah. Yikes. I didn't thin it down enough down here. I'm just looking at the base, and I can see I did not thin it down enough down here. Come on. It's best to do it now when it's still kind of thick in the middle. And it's best to have the thin ends when I start striking the middle again, because I am going to try to thin down the middle a little bit more. Oops. Can't be slipping. Yeah, like that. Come on. No. I think I stopped thinning the end down because it was getting scary. Yeah. It's getting scary. It wants me to hit way too hard. I'm going to try to thin it from the side. Yeah, it's not too bad. How's that? Is that good or no? I don't know. We shall see. This is, yeah, it looks okay. It's getting a little bit pitted, but I think it'll be all right. If it's too pitted, it doesn't make good contact with the edge, and then I start messing up. If it starts getting too pitted, I got to regrind the tool tip to be smoother. You know, if it has too many dents in it, it doesn't make good contact with the edge. It's not thinned down quite enough yet. I got rid of that step fracture, but it's still a little bit too bulky down here. Yeah. I don't know. I'm losing way too much width too fast. I'm going to have to lose a lot more too, just to get this bottom area thinned down. Because if I want to do notching, it's got to be pretty thin. And I want to do notching. Yeah. Now, if I don't have to do notching, I can keep it nice and thick. I think that's why they did it back in the past. They, you know, a lot of these simple stem points were kind of thick. And the simple stems allow you to maintain thickness and strength. It's the notching that weakens everything. But it's a trade-off. The notching it makes it easier to haft. But it's not, the point itself is not as strong. If you don't need it to be that strong, then you can put notches in fancy stems. Yeah. Just makes it easier to haft. If you use up a lot of points, like if you shoot a lot, then having notches and all that is advantageous, because you're going to be hafting quite a bit of points, and then you need to make it easy to haft them if you're going to be shooting a lot. That's one reason why I would think you would use notches. seems a little bit counterintuitive. I turned off the volume for the notification ding-dongs, those little bells, but it still does it. How do I get it to not do any noise whatsoever? Well, I know how it. I just had to mute the whole phone, and I don't like doing that because I have alarms set. It's annoying that I can't specify just to get rid of that one noise. I don't know why. It still does it. Yeah, that was good. See, there was a step fracture right there. See, I told you we'd get to it eventually. Yeah. All right. That makes me feel a little bit better. We're going to get there little by little. Bit by bit. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Until we get better at this, then I can go faster. And it could take weeks, or it could take months for me to get faster at this. Because I'm tending to slow down more, to be more careful on video, and do more difficult types of points. So I don't know. When am I going to get faster at this? I don't know. That's a good question. Okay. Alright, so let's see. I can stop right there on the thinning. Unfortunately, I got a little land bridge right there. But I'm going to pick it out. I'm going to go around the whole piece and pick out all those nasties. Oh, yes. Yep. Okay. I'm going to use steel. I'm just going to pick out all those little nasties. Well, that one didn't work. Yeah, like that. What other things are bugging me? This one over here. Yeah, like that. That. Yep. All these little booger heads that bugged me earlier. Good enough. That's good enough for thinness. Now I'm just going to pressure flake and notch it and be done. Yeah. Shouldn't take me too much longer. Right. It shouldn't. If it does, then it's my fault. Yeah. Okay, so let me check the chat. We did the hardest part of Flintknapping already. Yep. Okay. I'm satisfied with it. It's ready for the notching and all that. Supposedly. I think it's thin enough to do the notching without too much suffering. Yep. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's look at the translucency, since that's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite parts, is to look at the translucency. Yeah. It got thin enough. Seems to be more translucent at the top. Yeah. Although I don't, yeah, it is thinner at the top. Okay. Need a brighter flashlight. It's starting to lose its battery power or something. Okay, let me check the chat real quick. Hopefully this won't take forever to check it. Oh, I missed some stuff. Let me see. Did I miss a super chat? Maybe there's a question attached. No? Stone arrowheads, yeah. They made... Yes, stone arrowheads. They made Play-Doh? What are we talking about? Why the dry Play-Doh? I don't know what that means. Does somebody know what that means? It's dried Play-Doh? Do we have any moderators in the house? Because I don't know what's going on with that guy. Jesse Garcia's here. Hello. Jamie says, I'm almost 80 and having trouble holding pieces steady enough not to lose power. Any suggestions? Yeah. Indirect percussion. Use indirect percussion. And use the mass of the workpiece against itself by hitting very fast. I know at age 80 it's difficult to hit fast, but if you use indirect percussion, that's going to be the easiest way to hit fast. You can hit fast by adjusting where you hit with the mallet. Okay, I'll give you a demonstration. On my videos, when I'm using indirect percussion, you see me hitting in this range here on the mallet, right about there. on a lot of cases. If you move it down and hit it like that, that gives you more power. I'm usually the same every time. That way I don't have to mess with different variables when it comes to where I'm hitting with the mallet. But if you do that and hit, it strikes it faster. The faster you strike it, the more of the straw in the potato effect you have. Have you ever jammed a straw into a potato? A plastic straw? Look it up on YouTube. I guess they have videos on it. When we were kids, we used to place bets with each other. I bet you I can ram this, or I bet you I can pierce the potato with a straw. Here, you try it first. And they try it and they can't do it. Well, how do you do it? You hold the straw very carefully, perpendicular to the potato. The positioning has to be just right, and then pow, as fast as you can stick the straw in the potato. Same with Flintknapping. As fast as you can remove that flake. It'll pop right off, and you won't feel the shock in the workpiece. It's an amazing thing. You're using the mass of the piece against itself, much like the straw in the potato. The mass of the potato helps to resist, and that helps to punch the straw into the potato. If you try to go slow, you're going to push the potato like this. But if you go fast, the potato's mass resists it and the straw penetrates. Okay? If you try to push the straw into the potato, it doesn't work. And then the straw bends and all that. Okay? That's the easiest example I can give. Anything else is more complicated, and it's difficult to teach. Let's see. Are Indians still using stone arrowheads and stuff? Yeah, if that's their hobby. I mean, they live like the rest of us. They live in a modern world with the rest of us. But if they have a hobby of hunting or using stone tools, sure, they still use it. Somebody got timed out. Yep, I could tell that was coming. That small tool you was using, what's its name? Gosh, small tool? What's its name? I mean, this is a small tool. A braiding stone? What about this little small hammer stone? Small tool. You think this is a tool? This is just a biface or a preform. I don't know any small tools. This one? That's it. It's a horizontal punch. I don't know. Someone's getting tired, I think. I don't know. Is someone getting tired? It's some type of chert stone, I'm guessing. Yeah, some kind of chert. Yep. I'm not going to answer questions on exactly what the materials are anymore. But, you know, I'll say it's some kind of chert. Yeah. I call it ranch rock. It's from Texas. I picked it up south of San Angelo, Texas. And yeah, it's free. I got it for free. Now, it took me years to make the contacts that I have. So I wasn't able to get free stone right away when I first started Flintknapping. You got to make contacts and know people. Chris Hill is still saying something about dried Play-Doh, or no, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the dried Play-Doh comment. Someone can fill me in. Maybe he's trying to be funny. He's dying laughing, so maybe he's trying to be funny. I'm checking the chat here off camera a little bit, so I'm not like this, okay? I'm checking the chat with my second phone because I can't see it with my phone that I'm filming with, because it doesn't allow me to scroll like this. The phone that I'm filming with is not allowing me to scroll into the chat anymore. It freezes up. Wait a second. There's no more comments? Now's your time to ask questions while I'm checking the chat. Mm-hmm. 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 What? One more thing you know, and you tap on the heart, and I don't know what's going on in the chat. Mm-hmm. 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 What is going on? What's going on in the chat? Let's see. The Primitive Gentleman says, I'm thinking of trying the joint that Ryan Gill uses and hafting multiple dogwood together. I'm running low on my cane from back east. In Arizona, we don't have much hardwood to choose from. Really? You don't have desert ironwood? You don't have arrow weed? You don't have desert broom? I mean, I've seen Phragmites reed on my way through Arizona. We went to Scottsdale and different places. You have arrow making materials. Multiple pieces of dogwood together seems like a lot of work. I've seen a lot of Ryan Gill's videos. We differ a lot on construction of things. You can use desert broom for arrows, in case you're wondering. It's a plant, yes. And there's also something called arrow weed in the Southwest. Plastic. Primitive Gentleman asked if something was plastic. He should already know that I use a plastic mallet. Or, what else do I use as plastic? I don't know. Yeah, let's see. Jimmy Acock, almost 80, has trouble holding it. That's, I understand that. Some people have not only age-related issues, but they have arthritis-related issues. They can't hold their workpieces steady. Just wear a thick, or not a thick, but a glove that allows you to have more of a firm grasp, right? And then hit fast so that you're using the workpiece's mass against itself. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of trouble, in knapping, because you do need a firm grasp in many cases on the workpiece. Unless you're working obsidian, then it's very easy to knock off flakes. You don't need a firm grip. But if you insist on using difficult materials, then you're going to have to find a way to grasp the workpieces. Work out more or something. I don't know. The only tip that I can give you is just strike faster, and it doesn't shock the piece, and you don't feel the shock in your hand. Strike faster. Yeah. If possible. Otherwise, I don't know. It's a good question. Justin says, Ryan, I bet Ryan has seen my videos too. Oh, yes. I mean, we go way back as far as seeing each other comments on different forums. Yeah, we've both been online for quite a long time. Okay, that's it. John J. Johnson, any tips on knapping? I'm having trouble with my pieces breaking. I don't have a good bopper. Well, I think you might have answered your question. My suggestion is, get a better bopper. If you can't afford it, that's fine. I mean, you can continue using the one you have. I have lots of videos on knapping. I've got literally thousands of knapping videos. You can type in a subject that you think I might have covered and search. Do Jack Crafty, and then I don't know, just whatever you think I might have covered that you might be interested in, and do a search, and I might have a video on it. My videos that say instructional or tutorial are the best ones to search for, because I try to be serious in my tutorials and my instruction videos. So I would suggest watching my instructional or tutorial videos. Yeah. Garrett Booth says, I'm learning everything I know from your videos. Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Let's see. Explore Florida says, I just posted something in the community very strange I found here in a dried up lake. I see. Jay Johnson says, thanks for the response and for the advice. Oh, you're welcome. I hope it helps. Okay, someone's calling in a night. Revelation file spirit. Okay, I'm out for the night, friends. Talk to you soon. I say night, but it's 4:47 a.m. here in Dublin, Ireland. Oh, dang. You're up late. I didn't realize you were from Ireland. Wow. Stoneface says he holds pieces in the fold of leather on my pad. Okay. Helps to support the grip or whatever. Okay. Yeah. Okay, is that it? Dude, one more thing. Opalite is a beautiful gemstone and would be a nice blade. Yeah, I've napped opal before. Opal, right? Opalite, is that a glass? Or is that a stone? Because I've napped opal before. It's kind of delicate. And opalite, I think that might be a glass. It's also very delicate. So those things break kind of easily. Well, I do agree that they make nice blades. Okay, so let's see what I can do about notching this and sharpening it. Yeah, before it gets too late. It's already late. Yes, I know. Let me see. Do something simple. I'm going to shoot a thinning flake. I'm not supposed to. It's kind of dicey to shoot a thinning flake now, but this would be the best way to thin that down. I had trouble thinning it earlier. We'll see if this goes. It's not going to go. Oh, there it goes. What's wrong with it? It doesn't want to do it. See, I did this one kind of diagonally because it produces less stress. So I don't break it in half. It wants me to hit it really hard. I'm not going to do it. So I'm just taking little flakes. Thinning that down so that I can haft it. Let's see. I'm not going to haft it tonight. I just want to see if it fits in the haft. I'm already running into 2.5 hours, so I can't make these things as fast as I can on a regular video. Oh, that's too small. On a regular video, I can go faster, and I'll haft these things on a regular video. But these natural tool videos, they're going to take me longer than normal because I'm still learning, or I know how to do most of this stuff. I'm just relearning. Yeah. I haven't done natural tools seriously in a while. I haven't used these tools seriously in a long time. I just use them occasionally. But I want to be able to do the same kind of work with these tools as I can with copper tools. It takes a little bit of practice. All right, there we go. Got a thinning flake that time. It doesn't like what I'm doing. trying to thin it. I'm trying to do you a favor, dude. The rock doesn't want to be an arrowhead. But if I thin it down, it'll be a much prettier arrowhead. So it should want me to thin it down, but it doesn't. I guess it doesn't care about looking nice. Nope. Stone doesn't care about looking nice. It just wanted to be left alone with that nasty cortex that absorbed a lot of water from my basement. That's what it wanted to do for the rest of its life. Just want to sit in the basement, soaking up water. Where's my foreshaft I just had? Yeah, let's see if it fits now. Oh yes, it did thin it down. Not quite enough, and it's a little bit lopsided. That foreshaft's probably too small anyway. Let's see. Let's get something bigger. Yes? Yeah. My favorite foreshaft is right down there, so let's try that one. I do need to thin it just a little bit more. See, that's a little bit of a lump right here. Right there where that step fracture is. It needs to be thinned a little bit more. It doesn't want to be thin, though. It doesn't like it. How about if I just pick it out like I did earlier? The heck with trying to flake it out. Let's just try to pick it out. Yes? No? I'm using steel, yeah. Let's see. Where is the other pad? I've got pads in here I can use to help me support this. There it goes. Alright, so that popped that little step fracture out of there. Maybe it's thin enough now. Little changes can make a big difference. I think that made a big difference. Yeah. That'll work. Yay. Let's put some notches. Yep. Let's put some notches in this and get it over with. Yeah. Okay. Now the fun begins. Use an antler notcher. All right. Let's see if I can do this without making it all blurry. I'm over on this side because the last time I had my hand in front and it made it all blurry right where I'm napping. Okay, so just in case you're wondering why I'm way over here on this side. I know I would be wondering. And yeah, I use autofocus because trying to maintain a manual focus on this is almost impossible. It's the camera's not geared to be following Flintknapping. Flintknapping is way too chaotic for the camera. Okay, so it's going to do that, huh? Yeah, it's going to do that. It's going to blow away the barbs. I knew it. How did I know it? Have I done this before? Oh yes, I've done it before. What am I doing? I'm sneaking up on it. Okay, hold on. Everything has to be sneaky when using natural tools. Okay. Come on. No. Okay, I see how it's going to go. It's going to eat my antler for lunch. Yep. Okay. I see. I see what you're doing. Come on. I'm going to wear myself out before I get to the next notch. There we go. Good enough. All right, let's do the next side. Now, I didn't check to see which side was thinner. I'm supposed to do the thinner side last because that's the easy side. But I don't know. They both look the same thinness, so I don't know. Hopefully this will go well. Yes? Yeah, it's not too bad. I gotta repair this edge, so hold on. This edge looked pretty bad, so let me fix that before I continue, because if I let it go and don't fix it now, it's going to be harder later. It had some weirdness right there. Still not good. Still got to make sure that area gets nice and sharp. Or is sharpenable. Somehow I missed that area earlier. Hold on, I'm still going to do this side, but just hold on. I need to fix this edge. And I need to run another flake in there. It's too bulky right here. See that? I can run a flake in there. To thin it down and make it look more balanced. Yeah, I had to readjust the stem a little bit, but that's all right. mallet. Not that one. This one. It's Antler. This is Antler Night. Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that. Thin it down a little bit more. Perfect. Except for the little bits that can be popped out with the steel. Cheat a little bit to get rid of those little bits. Right? Right. Okay, so we can continue now. All right. Sorry for the interruption. What did I do with this? I broke it? Man. I broke it earlier, didn't see it. Yeah. Okay, here we go. No. No. Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that. We're getting there. Yes, yeah, we're getting close. Ooh, almost perfect. Oh, it's not going to do it. Don't tell me it's not going to do it right at the very end. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Gotta sneak up on it. Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that. Okay. Come on. You might be wondering what am I doing on the edges up here? I'm trying to thin down the edges to match this side. I'm working on symmetry. It might not look like it, but I'm working on symmetry. Okay, so almost done with the notching here. And these are just barely notches. I consider them notches if they create pointy barbs. These areas right in that create the barbs, I call this notching in here. Yeah, and I'm going to put a notch in the base too. Yep. Come on. I can't see what I'm doing. Or I can't see why it's not doing it. Okay. Skip it. I'm trying to thin down that edge right there, but it's not. It doesn't seem to cooperate. And it looks like it can be napped right there, but it doesn't do it. It's probably because I don't want to push very hard because it's on the base of that stem. There we go. There it is. Yeah. And as I get better with notching, I can make these deeper. Let's see if I can do it now. Just a little bit deeper. Yeah. It's crushing it though. It's crushed. And not in a good way. Yeah, never mind. We'll just finish it up. I see a $9.99 super chat. Thank you, thank you. This is harder to pressure flake than I originally thought. I was going to be. This rock is tougher than I thought. And I can get a stone flake to nap this, but stone can be kind of unpredictable. Come on. Let's see. What do I mean? I can get a stone flake. I need to make myself a stone pressure flaker that I used to have one made of rhyolite. It was really good for doing these, sharpening the tips of barbs and the tip of the point itself. It gets in there and removes little bitty flakes, but the Antler doesn't like doing that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is not easy to pressure flake. Okay. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. A little bit of sacrifice of the tip. I did not want it to sacrifice so much of the tip. Dang it. Now I got a little bit of a curve going. But it wants me to use a lot of force when pressure flaking. That's the problem. When I do that, I end up taking off too much. Man, it's much harder to pressure flake than I would imagine. Come on. I don't know what's wrong with it. Yeah. I don't know if it was a humid day today and my antlers just aren't dry enough to do this, or this stone is really tough. It does not want to pressure flake. All right. Where's my other? Let's try this one. I gotta sharpen this. Okay, here we go. I didn't mean sharpen it. I had to repair it because I had broken it on the last video. All right, so let's see if I can thin this tip and sharpen it with percussion. That pressure flaker is going to wear me out, so yeah, that works. I see the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, thank you. Hold on. Let me just finish this before I check the chat. If there's a question in there, I apologize. I'm going to have to do this for a few more minutes because I'm still in the zone. If I wait, I might not be able to thin this tip down. No, it's not going to do it. It's doing the same thing to me that it was doing with the pressure. It's really tough stuff. Dang. The tip is off center. I'm trying to get it thin, but it's wanting me to hit really, really hard. And I'm losing control of the shape. It's going to be a little bit off on the symmetry. Come on. Yeah. It's doing its thing. It's really tough on the tip area. Okay, so I'm going to try to finish this quickly. I've been trying to finish it for the last 30 minutes. Let's try to speed it up here. Where is the pad? It would help if I could find my stuff. And I'm breaking the tips off of these antlers. See, I'm breaking the tip, and normally these tips don't break this easy on the antler tools. Come on. This pad is too hard. Where's my other pad? The other pad I just had. Right? I had a different pad, right? Or is that just in my imagination? I'm looking right at it and don't see it, I guess. Let's see if this pad works. What am I doing here? Man, that edge is tough. It's a good thing, though, on a real arrowhead, if you really want to use it. It doesn't get any more durable than that. Yeah, it does not want to flake. Either that or it's too humid here and the antler is too weak. It's one of the two or both. See, it's eating the antler for lunch, and it's normally doesn't do that. So it must have been really humid lately or something. I've had that happen before with my tools. And the way to get rid of that is to have a little fire going and keep the tools warm while you're napping so they can dry out. But not dry out too much. There is such a thing as drying the antler out too much. But you don't want it humid and weak. It looks like it's... Yeah, the antler really doesn't want to remove the flakes. Anyways, I think that's good enough. I'm having a heck of a time trying to get anything that pressure flake here. Yeah, see how it's, I mean, I can't even get that to pressure flake. And this is the easy part down here. Anyways, let's see. Yeah. All right, so that's the way it would look hafted. I try to get that edge sharp, but it's going to take a while longer. I'm going to stop now. It's almost 3 hours. But the edge could be sharper. I just had to find a stronger tool. But yeah, I've tried to get that edge nice and sharp. The tip nice and pointy. But you can see a lot of antler deposited on the edges, and you can also see where I had abraded it earlier, I guess. But trying to get those edges sharp. With the antler that keeps disintegrating, it's not easy. And if I make it more sharp than this, it just eats it for lunch. Let's see. Like this is sharper. I can pressure flake with this, but it keeps breaking on this material. That's good enough. Now, I got a cast of a real artifact. This is a plastic cast of a real artifact. You can see how thin they used to get it. This is a point made of chert back in the past, and they just made a copy of it. And I can compare to see how thin I can get mine compared to a real one. Okay. Of course, this is much bigger, but you know, you get the idea. Yeah, so this is simple. It's a simple haft on this one because all I got to do is wrap it. See, the stone sticks out a little bit on both sides. That's perfect. And I just wrap it. Okay, and let's see the translucency. Yeah, it got thin. It got thin enough that we can see most of it's translucent now. Yeah. See, before we couldn't see all the way through, but now we can. Down here is still kind of thick, but up here we can see all the translucency. All right. Awesome. Let me check the chat. All right, Jesse, Yucky Napper, bonus super chat going the distance, $5. Thank you, Jesse. Who else? Aaron, $1.99 super chat. Thank you. Aaron again, $4.99 super chat. Everything works better if you stay at a Holiday Inn Express. Again with a $1.99 super chat. Thanks, Aaron. Pedernales point. Yeah, it's similar to a Pedernales point. Yeah. I guess you could call it a Pedernales point. With a little more practice, I would get those notches deeper and a better tool, I think. With a better tool, I can do some deeper notching. It started to crush, so I just left it. You know, it started to crush on this side, so that determines how deep I'm going to go. Yeah, if it starts to crush on one side, I just leave it. Now, the real ones on the real artifacts, sometimes these barbs and notches are not symmetrical. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be symmetrical. But I like it when it looks symmetrical. So yeah. I have seen these types of Pedernales points in the archaeological record. Yeah. And I have a couple of bases like that broken in my own personal collection. I got a lot of bases that are broken off on artifacts. Yeah. Okay. So you twist it. Yeah, that looks centered. The point stays in one spot when you twist it. As long as you hold it steady, yeah, it's centered. So everything's good. And just put glue and wrap it. Yeah. All right. Let's see what else. Someone else gave me a super chat. Again, Aaron, $4.99. Thank you. Okay, you're gonna run out of money here, dude. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna call it a night. Good night, everybody. I'll check one last time here. Hey, Red-Eyed Patriot, Michael is here. Jorge says, great work, Patrick. Way to hang in there on that tough stone. See you tomorrow night. Yep, we'll see you tomorrow night. Same old everything. I'll be doing more natural tool napping. And let's see, what can I use? I'm just going to use a heat treat next time. Yeah, this stuff that's raw, it's really tough on my pressure flakers. I got to make some better pressure flakers, obviously. Oh, my natural tool pressure flakers. Sam Yoder asked me, do you know Donnie Dust? I don't know him, but we just recently did a collaboration. I was on a podcast with him, but he needs to edit it before he posts it. He's got a backlog of stuff also that he needs to be doing. He told me he's going to let me know when he posts it. I think it's couple weeks or so. Yeah, we did a little podcast together. Um, Spotify. I think he's going to release it on Spotify and YouTube. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you liked the point. I'm glad you liked the way it turned out. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Although it was kind of a pain to sharpen it toward the end there. I was losing my patience. But I'm going to go to sleep. I don't have any more napping to do today. If this was early in the morning and I was already sore from pressure flaking, that would not be good. But see, this side is dull. On this side, I still need to do some more sharpening. This side is better. Yeah. But on this side, I was having trouble with the pressure flaker just disintegrating. And it didn't sharpen the edge very well. And I had to push really hard on the tip to get it to thin down, but then I lost the symmetry, so I had to go back and reshape the whole thing. But overall, I guess it did come out okay. Yeah. The flakes traveled well. It's just hard to sharpen it with the antler because the antler was being chewed up a lot. All right. Yeah, that let's see, someone asked, let's see, Chuck 2295, can someone please explain what this is and what you're doing? Yeah, I'm glad someone else answered that because I don't answer that question anymore. Another super chat by Aaron. Wow, you're gonna run out of money, dude. Aaron says, I sent you some stuff to heat treat. Are you ever going to heat treat it? It's beautiful stuff. I don't know. I gotta find it. Right? I'm probably not going to do any heat treats until next month. At the earliest. I've put all my heat treat stuff aside for now. I can send you the same stuff already heat treated if that will help. Do you need me to nap it? I mean, do you have issues with it? Let me know what the issues are. And if I can help you with the issues, then yeah, send it. If the issues are too difficult to deal with, I might not be able to help you with it. Yeah, believe it or not, sometimes I'm really not able to do much with it. Yeah, just let me know what the issues are. Okay, yeah, someone explained what I was doing. Okay, good. All right, so I think that's it. Oh, yeah, Aaron Estes. Aaron Estes. I keep getting your last name wrong. Sent me a lot of super chats. Thank you very much. Jesse asked me, Patrick, do the grainier hammerstones literally scrape the edge and hold onto the platform just a tiny bit longer? Why do they seem to work better? The grainier hammerstones? Well, they've got to bite and grab a little bit. That's probably why every tool has to grab the edge a little bit. Every tool. If it's too smooth, it doesn't grab the edge and it doesn't peel the flake. Flakes are partially peeled off. Okay, you can smash it off, but the edge has to be different for the smashing. Once the edge gets thin, you need to start peeling the flakes off. Okay? A non-grainy hammerstone works okay when you're smashing the edge to remove flakes, and it's possible in the beginning stages when you first have a rock. You can smash the edge and remove flakes and, proceed that way with a hard, smooth hammerstone. But as it gets thinner, you need to grab the edge and peel the flakes. Okay, it depends on what stage you're in. Yeah, okay. Jesse Garcia says, Jesse, I have so many bows that sometimes I have trouble making up my mind which one to take on a trip. So I usually make 3 bows with me, take 3 bows with me, and plenty of arrows. That's a good problem to have. Copper is a natural tool, yes. Yeah, stone face. Copper is a natural tool, but I don't use it because, I don't use it very much on these natural tool flint knapping live streams because I want to learn on the other stuff. Otherwise, I would just make a duplicate of a copper pressure flaker or other flint knapping tool made of copper that exists in the archaeological record and use that. But I'm trying to practice the Antler stuff. Aaron Estes says, I want to see some new heat treat videos. What kind of heat treat videos? Knapping the heat treats or making the heat treats? Or heat treating different things? Did you want to see me knap the heat treats or make, do the explanation of how hot I heat treat, what stone it is, where did I get it, how long did I dry it, blah, blah, blah. Is that the type you want? Or you want to see me knap? Or you want to see everything? Making the heat treats. Okay. Okay, so I need to make some heat treat videos. I see. All right. And if you could tell me the stuff I sent you can heat treat to 450. Yeah. I need to see if I can actually get up that hot with the turkey roaster I have right now. It says it does go up to 450, but I have to prepare it, and I don't have it set up yet. My other heat treat turkey roaster shorted out on me or something. It doesn't work anymore, so I left it in Texas. Now I have another one, and I haven't set it up yet for heat treating. I have another turkey roaster that goes up to 450, but I haven't used it yet. Yeah, and I haven't prepared it with an insulated lid or a temperature gauge or anything. And I haven't plugged it in to make sure it actually works. But once I get that set up, yeah, I'll do some more heat treat videos. Aaron Estes says, I just got started a new job making $40 an hour. I'm not going to run out of money. Okay. In that case, yeah. Awesome. Oh, I see. Why does your gloves look like socks, though? Do you understand what wear and tear is? No? Let's see. Yeah. Some people don't understand what wear and tear is and, use of the gloves. After you use the gloves for a while, they look like socks. Yeah. Okay, is that it? What type of stone is it? Someone else answer them because I'm not answering. It's chert. It's flint or chert from Texas. Yeah. Now, what type of flint or chert? I don't know. It's the kind that I just knapped. That's what kind it is. And the reason why I don't answer the question is because I just have to spend way too much time answering that question, and it doesn't really help you to know what it is. I mean, are you a flint knapper? So it's not going to help you if you know what type of stone it is if you're not a flint knapper. And even if you are a flint knapper, it probably won't help you either because you might not be able to get hold of this stuff. Again, Aaron sent me $4.99. You're going to love the stuff I send you when you heat treat it. Okay. I trust you. Yep. I'll take your word for it. All right. Yep, peace out, everybody. I'm going to take off and I'm going to go to sleep. Yeah, I don't see any more questions, right? I'm looking back in the chat. Maybe if I missed your question, I apologize in advance. Yeah, I see a bunch of chat, but I don't see questions. Yeah, and if you have questions, you can post them in a different comment section and I'll see them. I get my notifications for comments. If you comment, I'll see it. 6Rabbit says, it looks similar to our local California Monterey shirt. Yeah, it does. I've seen Monterey shirt, and I think someone gave me a piece once. Yeah, it's very similar. Except this one is extremely tough on my pressure flakers. It was doing okay with the billets, the hammerstones, and all that, and the horizontal punch. But when it came to pressure flaking, man, stuff is tough. Anyways, that's it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place, same station. Take it easy. Good night. Good to see you. Bye-bye.